Let's begin with the introduction. Our group will discuss about the Nicole Highway incident in Singapore, which happened on 20 April 2004. The accident happened during the construction of the Circle Line MRT, where a deep hole in the ground collapsed. And it wasn't just a simple side accident, it showed problems in the design, poor safety checks, and weak project management. Nicole Highway was first built in 1956 with the Merdeka Bridge to connect the city centre to the east. In 2001, it became part of the Circle Line MRT project, and the station was built using a method called cut and cover, where workers dig a big hole, build the station inside, then cover it up. This was done on soft reclaimed land, which is difficult to build on, and it's a careful planning, but it didn't happen properly.
Hello, I'm Desmond. I will now talk about the discussion of what happened as a timeline during the Nicole Highway collapse. So, in the months and years before the construction happened, the LTA discovered their design software errors, and they warned the contractor and they gave them some advice on it, but the contractor decided to ignore it. And the contractor also decided to ignore the various warnings and the various shaky design failures in the next construction months and years, and they still decided to just raise the warning level, and by just simply ignoring it, and hence almost at a double danger level at 70 millimeter compared to the 40 millimeter alarm limit, the project manager still just doesn't care and just ignores it. And when the excavation is about to finish, they remove the support, and that is where the most of the errors come from. And on the day of the accident, the morning, the workers hear a lot of collapsing noises in the morning, and a partial evacuation was ordered. The contractor and the engineers decided to pour concrete around the support beam to ensure that it can still solidify, it can still back up, but in the end, the accident still happened. The entire highway, half of the highway collapsed into a big sinkhole, killing 4 workers and injuring 3 workers. So this is a cause of unethical engineering design and technical solution issues, which will be discussed in the next following slides.
Next, I will explain the engineering and technical failures when the Nicole Highway collapsed. Structurally, weak structural water connection and errors in the modeling underestimate the actual loads. This violates the REA 1967, Section 7A and 15, where engineers must ensure safe and accurate designs. Geotechnically, they misjudged the soft marine clay and failed to embed the walls deep enough or improve the soil. This breached Section 24, as engineers must ensure site safety. Finally, despite warning signs from monitoring system, no emergency action was taken until it was too late. This also violates Section 24 of the Act. This tragedy shows that professional engineers must prioritize safety, apply sound judgment, and follow the REA 1967 throughout the project.
We move to ethical issue. Prioritizing commercial interest over public safety. Commercial pressure tragically outweigh public safety, leading to design errors and shortcut. Next, lack of professional competence and due diligence. Fundamental design flaws show a painful absence of required expertise and thoroughness. And last, for ethical issue is ignoring warning and failed accountability. Clear ground movement warnings were dismissed and work continue despite instability. System for accountability and transparency fail, allowing flaws to persist. We move to professional misconduct. The first one is gross professional negligence. Fundamental design and calculations error directly caused the collapse, showing a severe breach of professional cost standard. Misrepresentation and deception. And lastly is a failure of judgment intervention. Okay, thank you.
Thank you to the previous presenter. Hello, my name is Balkis and I will present Chapter 5, which is about preventive measures and recommendations. The first one is in terms of engineering and technical. All designs should be independently reviewed to reduce bias and must be based on accurate site-specific data. During construction, real-time monitoring with automated alerts is essential to detect early warning signs. Excavation should proceed in controlled, verified stages to ensure structural stability throughout. The second measure is ethical and professional responsibility. Ethics training should be reinforced both at the academic and professional level to build accountability. At the same time, whistleblower protection must be in place to allow engineers to report safety concerns without fear. Promoting ethical leadership and transparent communication is key to ensuring safety. The third focuses on legal and regulatory reinforcement. Regulators should have real-time access to site data and clear authority to halt work when risks are identified. This must be supported by routine unannounced inspections and formal links between monitoring alerts and enforcement thresholds to enable timely and decisive action. Finally, a comparative perspective with Malaysia's Engineers Act 1967 highlights the need for supporting legislation. While the Act outlines core responsibilities, it should be expanded to include real-time monitoring, third-party reviews, and stronger coordination between VEM, DOSH, and local councils. Adopting live risk registers and peer review protocols similar to those introduced in Singapore will enhance regulatory capacity and support a more preventive, safety-focused engineering environment. Now, for the final section of this presentation, the conclusion. To conclude, the Nicole Highway collapse resulted from technical flaws, poor design, ignored warnings, resulting in 4 deaths, severe damage, and years of delay. This case highlights that engineering must be grounded in accurate data, professional oversight, and strong ethics. Monitoring systems should trigger immediate action, and those who raise safety concerns must be protected. Although reforms were made in Singapore, the same lessons also apply in Malaysia. Strengthening the Engineers Act 1967 with clearer enforcement powers and preventive measures can move the industry towards a safer, more accountable future. At its core, engineering is a duty to protect the public, and while structures and highways can be rebuilt, lives, trust, and integrity cannot. With that, we have come to the end of the presentation. I would like to thank you for your attention to this presentation. That's all from Group 42. Thank you.